Hello, this is Patrick Smith with CureForIgnorance and GunSafeAcademy.com based in Omaha, Nebraska. We're also now available on Facebook at Facebook/GunSafeAcademy, and you can follow us there for updates on new gun laws and things about Nebraska unicameral stuff. Here on our YouTube channel, we started this new segment called Bill Me, where we discuss bills in the Nebraska unicameral. We also have discussions on permanent badges, frequently asked questions. We talked about the so-called gun show loophole, and we also talk about gun bans, past, present, and proposed gun bans. So it's a good way to keep up with law if you only have 10-15 minutes a week. We kind of do the legwork for you there. And also some techniques and things from class we'll post from time to time. What I want to talk to you today, though, is about the Brady Campaign. While looking around for videos about the gun show loophole, and while commenting on several of those videos, trying to disseminate some good information, I saw a lot of videos posted that were saying that this is a real problem, and most of these are posted by the Brady Campaign. So I thought I'd go through and talk about them a little bit. So their website is bradycampaign.org. And we can go here and look a little bit about their history and frequently asked questions. And basically this was started by Sarah and Jim Brady. Jim Brady was an aide to President Reagan and was hit in the head and permanently disabled during an assassination attempt on Reagan. And I will say it real briefly here that Ronald Reagan was almost assassinated by a handgun, and still the rest of his political career did everything he could to protect our right to keep and bear arms. They have gone through several name changes here. Brady Campaign, they've gone through Handgun Control Inc., the Center to Prevent Handgun Violence. They've now gone back since 2001 to the Brady Campaign to Prevent Gun Violence. But their main goal is to end the private ownership of firearms in the United States. Let's go to their frequently asked questions and their goal statements here to see what they actually say. It says their goal is to pass and enforce sensible laws, get some grassroots stuff going, and elect public officials to increase public awareness about gun violence. That in and of itself doesn't sound bad at all. Let's scroll down a little bit. Brady Campaign's and Brady Center's goal. The goal to protect you, your family, and community from gun death synergy. Doesn't sound bad at all. Here's where I started having a problem with it. There are only a few federal gun control laws on the books, and even those have loopholes. There are almost 30,000 federal, state, and local laws pertaining to the use, transportation, carry, transfer, possession of firearms. To say there are only a few is deliberately misleading. And what we need to do is we need to enforce the ones we have. They want to pass laws that require such things as a background check on all gun sales. This is where we get into the gun show loophole, and they alluded to it up here when they said loopholes. The gun show loophole is a misnomer, in that it's an inaccurate name. There is no such thing as a gun show loophole. There is no such law that makes it easier for anyone, criminal or not, to buy a gun at a gun show than it is for them to buy a gun anywhere else. If you have a federal firearms license and you want to sell a gun, you have to fill out the BATFE Form 4473 before you can sell the gun. If you don't have an FFL, if you're not a licensed dealer, you don't fill out the form. It works the same whether you're at a gun store or a gun show or someone's living room or under someone's house or in the pool or in a skyjack. It works the same no matter where you are. So I call it a gun show loophole as a misnomer. In order to close the gun show loophole, they'd have to make it illegal for you to sell your gun to anyone else without first having government approval. And I don't agree with that. It's already illegal to straw sell a gun. That is, to sell a gun to someone who you know is not legally capable of possessing or purchasing that handgun on their own. So why do we need more laws? Why do we need laws that would even prevent me from passing my guns on to my children? These things are ridiculous. Banning military-style assault weapons. Now, assault weapons is, again, it's a tricky word. An assault weapon is a gun that looks like an assault rifle. What's an assault rifle? An assault rifle is a rifle capable of firing multiple rounds with one depression of the trigger. You pull the trigger once and 3 rounds come out, or it fires until it's empty. That's an assault rifle. Assault weapon merely looks like an assault rifle. So we're banning a gun based on its cosmetic characteristics and has nothing to do with how the gun operates. That's ridiculous. Strengthening law enforcement efforts to stop the illegal gun market. 3 words: fast and furious. And limiting the number of guns that can be bought at one time. There's been times where I've bought 3 guns in a day, and I know a lot of people who buy multiple guns in a day, or thousands of rounds in a weekend, and haven't shot anybody. I mean, I've bought 2, 3, 4,000 rounds in a day for a gun class. So talk about limiting number of guns or number of rounds that can be purchased. I mean, the amount of rounds fired by a criminal in a crime it's real low, like 2 or 3. I don't have the stat in front of me right now. And heck, I'll fire 500-600 rounds in a day without even trying at the range. Let's scroll down here a little bit. So let's see, what are they doing right now to prevent gun violence? They're trying to pass sensible gun laws, blah, blah, blah. I said all that again. They're trying to make it harder for convicted felons and mentally ill people to get firearms. It's already illegal for felons and people who are mentally incompetent to own firearms. So again, we should enforce the laws we have, not make new ones. They want to ban military-style assault weapons and strengthen law enforcement. Again, they copy and paste a lot on this page. I'm just going to highlight this right here. Ban assault weapons. We'll go to the very next paragraph. Is Brady a gun ban organization? No. Brady believes that a safer America can be achieved without banning guns. If they believe that a safer America can be achieved without banning guns, then why do they constantly try to ban guns? We believe that law-abiding citizens should be able to buy and keep firearms, and we believe there are sensible gun laws that we can and should insist upon when it comes to a gun ownership. We should try to keep dangerous weapons out of the wrong hands, including criminals and children. Well, no kidding. The NRA, who they continually attack on this page, the Eddie Eagle program and things like this, they advocate for good training. They advocate for teaching children about guns. But, I mean, the way the Brady Campaign talks about the NRA, you think the NRA's version of training children about firearms was making them hold the targets. It's just slanderous. Let's see. There should be lots of weapons that should be out of balance prior ownership. They include Saturday night specials. As far as I know, that's a .38 revolver, a cheap .38 revolver. I don't know why that's a bad thing. Which are used almost exclusively for prime military-style assault weapons. The AR-15 is the most commonly owned rifle in the entire United States. It is today's musket. To make them illegal or ridiculous. Uzis, AK-47s. Again, AK-47, the civilian version, is semi-automatic. An assault rifle that fires more than one round, it's an automatic fire. Those have already been capped. The number of automatic fire rifles and guns available for civilian purchase in the United States has been capped since 1968. No new ones can be made. This is why if you want an M16, it's going to cost you $16,000 to $20,000 and plus a $200 federal stamp in order to own that firearm, whereas a regular AR-15 is going to cost you less than $1,000 for a decent one. 50 caliber sniper rifles. Show me one shooting in the U.S. where the killer was using a 50 caliber sniper rifle, which served no ordinary shooting purpose. I know lots of guys that have 50 cals, and we target shoot with them. I mean, I've shot center blocks at 3/4 of a mile with a 50 caliber rifle. It's a lot of fun. Anyway. Those who do own guns ought to be held to the higher standards of safety. They should be well trained in use of their weapons, and they should be required to keep weapons secure so that neither innocent children nor prohibited persons can get a hold of them. This is an idea that they use to spin up for safe storage laws. And safe storage laws make the victim of a crime into a criminal. If someone breaks into your house and steals your gun and uses it in a crime, you can, in some states, be held civilly and criminally responsible for them using your gun. There was an instance where a gentleman went on vacation for 2 weeks. Someone knew he was out of town. They broke into the house. They spent 3 days cutting open his 1,000-pound gun safe. Took his guns, went out, robbed a couple places, dropped one of the guns on the scene. The guy flies back into town. The police are waiting for him at the airport and arrest him. Not for the crime, because obviously they knew he was out of town. They met him at the airport for not storing the gun safely enough. So safe storage laws are a bad idea. They make a criminal out of the victim. Violence Policy Center, it's It's kind of an offshoot of the Brady campaign. They got this article here about assault pistols. It's an AK-47 pistol, and they talk about these with. They actually call them assault pistols. This is really the first time I've seen this term, and they're calling these assault pistols because they're pistols that shoot 7.62 or 223 rounds. And while it's kind of an oddity, it's kind of different. I don't see anything wrong with them. And they show with a 75 round drum magazine, it looks like. Heck, I got 33 round magazines for 9mm rifles I have. Again, this is no more dangerous than anything else. In fact, it's less dangerous than the rifle because you have less accuracy there, unless you're doing really short range shooting. But to say that this is inherently more dangerous than anything else is just laughable. And it's fear mongering. And that's what these people are about, is fear mongering. Alright, so after that brief intro of the Brady campaign, whose again, their entire goal is to end the private ownership of firearms in the U.S., these are not people who should be written off. They need to be taken seriously because they've made progress before in 1994, and they could make progress again if we're not on top of them. But I'm going to give this to you as a last little up thing, in that I think we have a decent chance of staying ahead of these guys. And when I was looking at their page and mine, here's what I noticed. They joined in January of 2007. They have under 500 subscribers, and they have about 750,000 views. I, for the heck of it, looked at my page here. I joined in March 2007. I have more viewers, and I have 280,000 plus more views than them. So if one guy teaching concealed carry classes in Nebraska can get more views on YouTube than a national gun ban campaign, I think we're doing pretty good. But we can't get complacent. We need to take these guys seriously. We need to follow their actions closely, and we need to fight those actions. If it was up to campaigns like this, Brady campaign, and the VPC, there would be no private ownership of firearms in the U.S. There would be no Second Amendment. And once Second Amendment is gone, the rest of them will follow. So if you want to, you can follow us on YouTube at CureForIgnorance. You can follow us on Facebook at facebook.com/GunSafeAcademy. And you can go to our website, gunsafeacademy.com. Real briefly before we end this video, class schedule. February classes are full. We actually have one we're doing this weekend at Cabela's in La Vista, Nebraska. March is also full. March 30th, 31st, it's Easter Sunday, so be mindful of that. We do have 18 seats available, and we have 2 classes in April, and we're scheduled all the way out through December. So if you have any questions, feel free to email me through either the Facebook page or the YouTube page, and I'd be more than happy to answer those questions. Thank you very much for watching. Please like and subscribe and comment below.